Addiction or substance abuse is a problem bedeviling our society today. It does not discriminate, for it cuts across the divide between the rich and the poor. What's most saddening is that these two go hand in hand with either crime or poverty. Today, we bring you real stories of two young men from Githurai, Kimbo. Well, before we start this program, I'd like to send a passionate appeal to my viewer out there who is going through the same. When you see your family members are concerned about your life, please try and understand them. By understanding them, you may save yourself. Hello and welcome to Family Matters, a program designed to look into and solve problems affecting families. I am your host, Timothy Mundi.
My name is Jackson Chege. This is my hood. This is where I was brought up. Nimesomea huku. First uraimu nilienda hapa Kimbo Primo. Later nikaenda Eagles Vision. Kutoka Eagles Vision kampo nikaingia kampo St. Kizitol nikafanya electrical. Sasa niko mtaani.
My name is Samuel Gengi. I live in Githurai area, Kimbo to be more specific. This is my hood, this is where I was born.
Sasa baada ya kampo, job kuhata, kabidi nimeingilia drugs, cannabis, smoking. Ikabidi sasa juu hood haina imani. Nataka kuwa na mkono mrefu inabidi umejitafutia. Niaye kaarestiwa, kapelekwa Inda nimesafa kama 3 months kukamu, no peace at home, kutumia drugs, mapero shida, kwa mtaani huku, crime, whatever, lakini still fighting the life. Sasa like yesterday, gava walimada innocent guy.
Nauliza hivi, hii ni maneno gani inatendeka hapa Kenya? Hapa Githurai Kimbo. How comes watu wanauliwa bure? Wa vijana wanauliwa bure. Just look at this. What is? This man was killed. Without any. Yesterday, without any exhibit. How comes? This is something that we must say to the government, because hatuwezi hivi na maisha ya hivi. Huyu jamaa alikufa na hakuwa na maana ya kufa. Hakuwa na exhibit, hakuwa na nini, lakini alifariki. Alipigwa na makarao na hakuwa na maneno mingi.
Well, when we talk about the life of crime and drugs, sometimes it may seem like just a story to us, or we may watch this on the news or read it on the newspapers. But here in Githurai, Kimbo, the life of crime and drugs is very real. The spot I'm standing on right now, a man was reportedly shot yesterday night by the police. Now, the reason for his shooting, we do not know. But when we talk to the youth in the area, they're saying that some of them are saying that this man is innocent. Well, some of them have confessed they don't know the man, but they're saying that what they've seen from the police in this area is what they could term as extrajudicial killing. Well, we cannot judge that. But what we can say for sure is that where drugs are involved, then crime is inevitable.
For primary, I went to school at Kimbo Primary School. Then later I went for secondary at Garrison Secondary School, where I finished at 206. Then later I went to Mombasa Poly. I used to go to this school, this Mombasa Poly bus. So I went to this school. This is me here. This with the white tee. These are my classmates. I went to them in Mombasa Poly. So I went to them with Kole. This is me also, with dreadlocks. I indulged myself in alcohol first of all, then started smoking cannabis, that's weed. Started selling it there for the students, and life in Mombasa was like not in Nairobi, so it was kind of different. Since that time I came here at 209, was caught with weed. I went for remand, I served like 14, and I came here. And since then, yani, my dad didn't want to take me back to school because he said you'll go and smoke weed more. But I really did want to quit, but when I came here, back home, I indulged myself more in the drug habits and whatsoever, criminal, whatever. We did some stuff. I can't talk a lot right now, lakini what I can say is the journey has been long. Yeah, maybe when we get to walk in the streets, you'll see how it is. So you get a glimpse of my daily life as a person. Okay, I can't talk a lot these days because, like for example, I cannot take this interview far because I've not yet drunk. I have to drink to talk. It's kind of like that for me every day. I wake up in the morning, the first thing I think is drinking. We call it up, hapa mtaani tunaitaga kutoa lock. So lazima niende nitoe hiyo lock. And it's kind of like that and yeah.
Sasa hata tunaonanga poa. Zai tunakula mali kama hizi polepole. Kuliko kuwa na mkono mrefu. Hii mtaa yetu God labda akama na asitumane ni kubaya. Tusipotumia vitu kama hizi, stress lazima zitumade. Ikuwagi ati miwili yetu kula vitu kama hizi.
The brain is composed of millions of interconnecting nerve cells called neurons. In order for the brain to function so that a person can think, move or feel, these neurons must communicate. They do so by receiving, processing and sending chemical signals called neurotransmitters. When a neurotransmitter is released from one neuron, it binds to another at a specific site called a receptor, much like the way a key fits into a lock. If the key fits, the receiving neuron will be able to process the signal and send it on. A drug is any substance that, once inside the body, changes how the body works. Drugs can be swallowed, sniffed, inhaled, injected, absorbed through the skin, or dropped into the eye. No matter the route of the administration, most drugs will eventually travel through the circulatory system and reach the brain. In the brain, drugs can affect almost any step in the communication between neurons by increasing or decreasing the amount of neurotransmitters that reaches the receiving neuron. A drug can also bind directly to a receptor in a place of a neurotransmitter. In the case of drug abuse, the interference in nerve communication often causes a temporary pleasurable sensation. With drug addiction, a person craves the pleasurable sensation produced by a drug and compulsively uses it despite its negative consequences. The use of certain kinds of drugs may also produce a physical addiction or dependence, meaning that the drug must be present for the body to function normally. In this case, when the drug is withdrawn, the user may experience mild to severe effects ranging from nausea to death. There are many ways to treat a person with drug addiction, and a physician-supervised program is the most appropriate and safe type of management.
Madre!
Niaje.
Mambo.
Huku kake.
Tukatoe lock bana.
Bana, hii hata mimi.
Kijani huku hivi. Twende.
Hata bado hujatoa lock leo.
Tukatoe lock bana. Kwanza niko chini bana.
Jackson.
Somo ni gani?
Niaje.
Mromu
hivi kutoa malock. Tuende ile base huko hivyo down.
Ile ya Foknesa.
Ndio tuase.
Wala mko idani. Kamuda kanya kametoa kitapoa.
Kwanza umekachukua hiyo mbija.
Ala. Azua hiyo kametoa kwa diai.
Kwa sana kwa kujenga kama leo. Watahitaji kiasi tunajionyesha. Na hii bado tutafunguka. Tunaenda base nyingine tujionyeshe. Unakamikia pasa ngapi? Mangware, tunakutoa lock. Tutoa lock ni ngware.
Yes. Hii chakula ni ule mtu ana pesa nyingi, unaona. Sasa 10 mbao, unaona. Tengezeria 10.
Huyo kunywa.
Unaweza waambia waache ama wakunywe kidogo.
Sasa tutakula wapi viazi? Hatuwezi enda Serena, hatuwezi enda Hilton. Sasa hapa hivi madhindo na tusort. Githeri ya 10 mimi kishamanga hivi. Na tunakula nyaga huku kama brother. We drink because we don't have any work to do. So we live like this. These are our daily livelihood. But tukapata base zingine tunaweza enda, tukapata majob tunaweza enda. Hata hawa wanaweza tafuta yote hii chang'aa. Unaona? Wanaweza huyu mada unaona na hustle anatuzia kidheri yake hata. Nakulaga hivyo sasa. Sasa mpaka roast.
Sasa hadi kesho.
Ndio itatoka wapi bana? Tuliwaambia kuna kandarasi. Okay, future, story ya future sisi. Yenyewe tuko na vision, lakini sasa future inakaa yani iko tu so far yani. Sasa we live day by day. Ukiamka unasema inshallah God thank you. After that unakaa na unaishi yani. Huwezi acha kwa idol. Unaona? Jua lazima yani, unaona?
Now, to the addict who's already caught up in his own circle of ideology, they will always get somebody to blame in order to use. They will say my parents were harsh. They'll say my parents never loved on me. They'll say my wife is nagging. They'll say my work is too much, so I have to use to relax. They'll say the society does not look upon me as an important person, so I use. Others will say I'm not employed. But where do you get the money that you use? So is it true that all those other reasons you blame are the reason as to why you drink? Or is it true that your habit has become uncontrollable? I think the first thing an addict needs to do is admit truly that it's a problem. It's no one else who has made me end up this way. I have done this to myself and I need to get over. I need to pick up my pieces and get over this.
Hata mimi nikienda mjei nalipa goki 4. Na kama nikikula mob ama kitatu na nusu. Nikikula mob ni mbao. Unaona?
Today, we are talking about alcoholism and the effects that it has to the society and our youths at large. One musician said this, that earth runs red, and that when the streets get hotter, then the youth get cold. Then when they get cold, they will do anything to put something in their belly. Like you just saw, they drink and eat very cheap food, if we may say. That is because they are unemployed and have nothing to do. So, because they also have their needs, they will do whatever it takes to get what they want.
Amu cool. Inataka kuna cool wewe bishana pero. Kama juu na cool. Unamwondosea unaingia kwa shule yako.
Always enjoy life yani iko drinking every day, partying, smoking weed. Because then hiyo ndio life every day lakini si hiyo. It's not a holiday every day, so definitely it's not a walk in the park. It's not a rosy bed. Kwa hivyo si yangu. Mimi msee anadaisha kuanza, mimi naweza mwambia tu asusie. Yaani yangoje. Ama yani afikirie tu sana kwa sababu si kitu hizi kutoka out of it. Your addiction ni addiction. Na ni normal. Hakuna ujanje kwa street life. Yaani hakuna ujanje kwa street life. Ukiingia kwa crime ndio hiyo na mado. Ukiingia kwa kuuza matei ama manini ndio hiyo. Unaona? Kwa hivyo hakuna ujanje. Hiyo ndio kitu. Every day is the same, and nothing new. Smoking, drinking, all that other stuff. Most death. Juliani iko hakuna any productivity especially for youth. Kwa hivyo kutoka kwa hiyo mtaani ya nguvu tu sana. Zadaisha. To answer your question that is.
And people who abuse alcohol are likely to be people with the entire social personality disorder. And the people with that disorder will engage in substance abuse, abuse of both alcohol and drugs. They have all kinds of characteristics. They tend to lie. They are capable of stealing. They use excuses, and they tend to blame others in general, and a lot of times parents. They use rationalization as a defense mechanism to explain their behavior, and they are difficult to treat because they don't seem to understand that they have a problem, because they always use excuses. So in order to help them, you have to make them understand that you are not going to listen to excuses, okay? If you don't want to face your problem, go ahead and ruin yourself, but don't come to me to waste my time because you are using excuses.
Vile yenyewe mtu uko sanamu. Hata namna mali naweza enda kustay. Naweza tu ondokea. Mali tu at least. Tafuta job. Ondokea sasa mtaa. Mimi mtaa pia. Place moja sana. Kwa mazoeano. Watu wanakuja kuona. Wanashinda kwa nini breathing capacity yako iko down aje. Tuwezi ondokea. Niko sawa.
Nimefikiria yani naweza daisha tu kutoka kwa ile sana yani.
Still have a long way to go. You never know about later. Utaendaje? You are gonna hope. I know I'll make it once.
I hope for the better na nimemsikia saa. I'm proud of her na I hope one day she'll be proud of me.
Well, sawa wase. Tumetembea mtaani, tumeona life yenu vile mnaishi. Venye mabeste wale mna hang out nao na pia tumebonga kiasi. Nimesikia comments zenyu ambazo mmetoa kuhusu life pia, sio? Unafikiriaje? Hii life hata nyinyi wenyewe kwa words zenyu mmesema yenyewe si life msenza desire kuishi kama hata kwa choice nyingine, sio?
Kweli.
Mshaitaka kutoka kwa life kama hii really deep from your heart. Wewe umewahi kufikiria, umekaa down ukafikiria?
Most def. Nimefikiria yani naweza daisha tu kutoka kwa ile life sana yani. Lakini saa zingine ni difficult, making the first step. Making the first move always is difficult.
Because ni life shows yeah.
Alafu it's like an addiction, vile tungo nasema earlier. Okay, from deep down unaweza taka tu kutoka yani.
Alcohol in itself. Now, first of all, we have the disorder that makes people drink excessively. And within that disorder, there is a tendency, there's a tendency to commit crime. Then again, alcohol itself will push someone to commit crime. Alcohol or any substance abuse, because they have to pay for those things. And as soon as they run out of enablers, enablers are the people who may be helping them with money. Sooner or later, they will turn to criminal behavior, and they will be in trouble.
You will agree with me that some criminals also come to that place. It's evident, right? Of course, because criminals will also use the stuff that you guys use when you're down there, right? And they say that, you know, if you want to know my friends, if you want to know who I am, then look at my friends. When I see you guys sitting together, they are having a good time. You are not criminals, but a criminal is in your midst, having a good time together with you guys. What's the perception of people outside there towards you guys?
That's a good question. Okay, birds of a feather flock together.
Of course.
So they say.
Yeah, so they say.
Lakini unajua me when I go there, I go for my own starehe. So I'm not like I don't want to know where you got your money from. Maybe I see you, maybe I've been seeing you for some time. You sit down, we drink together, we smoke together. I don't know if you're a thief or not. So the thing is, like I said, me by the me, it's I always like referring to the proverbs of the wise code. You cannot protect yourself, you know. At the end of the day, even if I sit with them and drink with them there, and something happens and I get shot, it's like just that person who woke up very early in a white collar job, passing Thika Road, na kapata accident. Unajua hit the car. Sa mi waga nasema okay, I know what you're saying. I should take care of myself to know who I'm like sitting with, talking to, and all that stuff. But sometimes some incidences are inevitable.
Kuna incident ishai kupata na madha ama mbuyu ukafili yenyewe mazee mimi nimefeli mbuyu yenyewe ama nimefeli maparo wangu.
Unajua kitu muhimu na mimi upenda God by the way. Na mimi read scriptures. Hata kama umeona life yangu vile iko. Lakini mimi upenda juu alitupatia kitu conscious. Sasa zile uko alone in bed, you have to think sometimes, unaona yenyewe sijafanya poa, nifanya mwadhara, unaona. Maybe nimefeel mbuyu, nimefeel mother, nimefeel my family as a whole.
And they tend to be self-centered. They will take advantage of people, relatives. If they are married, they will take advantage of their wives. They will take advantage of their parents without giving back. They are very self-centered.
Sasa mimi vile naweza kusema ni vijana kama wa area hii yetu. Sasa unakuta wako very idle, wanajikuta wamejiingiza kwa mambo yenye walikuwa hatawatamani kuwa kwa zile tabia mbaya juu ya that idleness. Ama wengine wanaenda wanakuwa influence na friends. Mwingine alikuwa akisoma akakuta wengine wasomi, sasa anajikuta ameingilia ile mambo ile mbaya. Wengine nao ni wazazi, nao wanakuja, wazazi maybe wanakuja, mzazi hataki kusomesha mtoto wake. Sasa mtoto anakosa role model. Pia wazazi wako na prayer kuplay. Wako na part ya kuplay kwa sababu maybe mtoto amekosa role model. Akijaribu kuangalia the parent, anajikuta hata huyu mtu siwezi jifunza naye, anaenda kufind ile njia zake zile zinaweza kumfurahisha huku kando.
Jackie, maybe wewe pia unaweza kutuambia view yako. Yaani wewe ile tu ametuambia yeye ufikiria. Wewe ushaifikiria point, ushafika hiyo point?
Obvious. Kwa hivyo na reason ile tunaishi na kitu Islam kwa morning to lock. Kwa ile ndio hustle by the end of the day. Mostly umetumia na kutoa lock. Unawasha kula kiasi. This ndio pale kutoa rozi, lakini mtu akapata otherwise unaondoka hii mtaa. At least unaniaje future yako vile itakuwa.
Mshai reach out kwa msee mkono wenyewe. Unajua kuna mahali msee ufika kwa life anaona wenyewe. Sasa niko kwa mess. Unajua kuna ile una get niko kwa mess, si ndio? My life is a mess, right? But you don't take that step to maybe move out of that, or you don't stretch forth your hand and ask for help. personally in your life, have you ever reached that point where you felt, now I need to just ask for help from someone? Hey,
Okay, I'll tell you two things. First of all, pride. Secondly, who are you reaching out to? Because kuna watu bado wako out there to take advantage of you, unaona? Sasa ni ile ujui yani who to trust in any way. As this being a ghetto, Nairobi, like kila mtu wako, they mind their own business. It's rarely yani somebody stretches out their hand to say I can help you. Alafu the second point of pride yani nilo unaonanga huyu msee kwani nikimuuliza for help yani atanibebaje, unaona? Saa utaona yani umekuwa like yani that pride utakuwa like a burden to them.
so you don't want to be a burden to them?
I don't want to be a burden to anybody, by the way, not even to my parents. If I could, then you'll be out of this place. Period.
But you see, yes, much as you trying to keep your pride, right? And you don't want to be a burden to anyone. Yet at the same time, still, even when you look at your life, still on many things you find you will depend on your parents per se, isn't it? Or the closer family members that you have.
Yeah, mostly, yeah. Because yani, like when I go to hustle, yani, like for instance, I wake up like in the morning, saa nikishatoa lock, maybe nifanyika kibarua mahali niende ni do JE, such stuff. Unaona? Saa unaona, kwa hivyo si yani kuvaa mimi, lakini kuna saa yani nafika yani you don't have anywhere to turn to. So definitely my parents have always been there to help me, and I'm very proud of them, especially my mom. Yani she's number one yani person in my life, and I love that fact that she's always been there, always advising me and all that. Lakini actually still goes back to that point of it's like pride-ish. I don't know how I should call it. Like it's pride-ish because you're like yani umse alikuzaa amekuleta hivi vyote na bado is still depending on them, you know. So sometimes you don't want to do that anymore. You want to be self-dependent.
Those people can be helped two ways. First of all, if you are an enabler, stop it. Don't give them support. Don't give them money. Don't give them support. Then number two, if you are a counselor and they are ready for counseling, don't listen to their excuses. Okay, you have to tell them that no one or nothing, no one or anything that else that makes you drink, you make yourself drink. So they need counseling, but you have to be, you have to be, in a way, you have to be tough with them, so that you have to tell it as it is. Don't baby them. Tell them the truth, and the truth is that you are the cause of your drinking. And if you are not ready to look at your problem and understand that it is you who brings it about, don't waste my time. When you are ready to look at your problems, come back. Otherwise, if you are using excuses, I don't have time to waste.
Would you guys really want to change your lifestyle, or are you just satisfied with this? Are you waiting for that day to come, or do you want to decide your destiny?
There's no room, actually. There's no room for complacency. Yeah. I cannot be complacent of how I'm living. So definitely I want to change. And with skills, you have to learn skills. You have to change character. Maybe have more discipline. Maybe we lack many things in our characterhood. I would do anything to change it. That's all I would say.
So if they want to change, first wakubali Mungu katika maisha yao. Wakishakubali Mungu, unajua ukikubali Mungu hakuna kitu, Mungu ataingia ndani, ataharibu ile kazi yote imefanywa na shetani ndani ya mtu, anakuharibu, anakumold again, unakuwa a new creature.
What actually I should advise parents, first of all, according to that matter, because it's an issue which has been brought in my life.
If the society shuns these people by not giving them a chance, what they do is lead these people to other vices which they had not planned. Most of the time is when we find that the society is not ready to embrace somebody who's alcoholic because they know they'll spend and they're not responsible. But if you don't engage these people, what will happen is they will look for other ways to sustain themselves, which will end up resulting to crime. The biggest thing about substance use and addiction is they will do anything possible to sustain their habit. So they will borrow, they will manipulate, to even the extent of stealing and selling things, even their own things, in order to get money to buy their substance. That's how bad it gets. So if as a society we decide, I will not employ this person because he's rugged and he's drunk, we're just telling this person, okay, go outside there, and when you see me in the evening, you can mug me. We need to come up with something that can engage these people and give them an opportunity. We give animals second chances, but we have a hard time giving human beings second chances. Let's give these people second chances and not get tired about doing it, because there is hope. They can get over the habit. If you don't employ them, they will steal, they will mug you, and they'll do other grievous things to sustain their own habit, because we are not addressing the problem, we are not addressing the behavior, we are actually punishing the person.
Exactly. Look at that person. Ule msee yani amedo so much. Na ni age yako, unaona? Sasa mi usema we are different. But like you said in the Bible also, I should refer to, we are all fearfully and wonderfully made by him. Sasa, if he made him like his image and he made me also like his image, he has a destiny for me. So parents, straightforward parents, do not make your kids fear like they are less than other kids. Because mtu anakuja anajiuliza, how comes, unajua, kwani paro yangu as my parent, only anything good can happen from me, unaona? So that law, so parents don't do that, strictly don't do that.
Kwa hivyo mimi naweza kusema vijana kama ni tu wajiweke busy, sababu that idleness inawamake watu wale wambaya sana. Kwa sababu kama huku kwetu kuna drugs, kuna pombe, kuna everything, and that is ni part ya idleness. Na wazazi mimi ningewaambia tu Mungu awasaidie wawe ma role models. Ndio at least watoto wako wanaweza kujifunza nawe, ama neighbors wanaweza kujifunza nawe, waseme mzazi yako hivi ameelewa watoto wake vizuri, ako hivi. Kwa hivyo hata wazazi wanaweza tu hata wao kujiangalia kivyao, waone vile unaweza hata kuwa role model ya area, the whole community. Unajua mtoto mmoja akiharibika, the whole community imeharibika.
Na hatuwezi toshana. Hiyo ndio kwa kwanza nafaa kujua. Isitoshe kutangulia pia si kufika. Still have a long way to go. You never know about later. Kutaendaje? We're gonna hope. I know I'll make it once. But a two chance to make it.
Ni ile tu your patience tu. Unajua, you know, like a father leads the son, yani anamwonyesha this is the way, or vice versa also the mother, this is the way. Ameshani show hivyo, lakini maybe saa zingine sishikagi, niko zangu saa zingine, unaona, na niko pia na stress zangu, niko na mafikira zangu. Saa maybe patience and more of the prayers, I would say.
Well, viewer, we have come to a point where we need to stop and reflect on our life and also think a little bit more. You know, guys like this, we see them every day and we pass a lot of judgment on them. You know, we criticize the kind of lifestyle they live. We say how much they've chosen to live that kind of life. And as you had, you know, some parents also do compare. Not only parents, but even siblings do compare themselves with, you know, other people and tell them how much they've wasted their life and how much they don't care about themselves. But one thing for sure is that even they themselves know that they have a problem and they really want to solve this problem. What they need is a chance and room. And to be quite honest, professionals will agree with me that alcoholism or dependence on substance is not a choice. It's like a disease. These are people who need help. They need our help from every angle, and if only we can know that and give that to them, then we'll stop the blame game, we'll stop the pointing of fingers and the accusing of our brothers and sisters who live this kind of life. So what I advise our viewers today is, let us think, let us come to ourselves and see how can we help them. For those who are willing to come out of that life, how can we help them? Will we give them jobs? Will we sit them down and talk to them and make them see the sense of life? All these things we need to ask ourselves. What can we do to help them? Because that help, they really need it. What they don't need from us is criticism, pointing of fingers, and all the accusations. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. Until next time, goodbye and God bless you.
I'm not going to blame anybody. I don't blame any. If I have to blame anybody, that's going to be myself. What I like to say is, if anybody have never tried to do whatever I do, they should not do it. That's it. Actually, that's the advice. I hope for the better, na nimemsikia saa. I'm proud of her. I hope one day she'll be proud of me.
Hiyo likabishiana sana. This is my former colleague. Tumechuna yeye. He was gunned down.
Mambo yaje kwa sana. And